Hello, hi, and welcome again to the Terminal Podcast, where in the end, it's all about the numbers. I am your host. We are broadcasting high above Civic Center Station, and tonight I'll try going gate to gate with questions that need answers. We'll start with a simple one. I can see a name, so tell me where you're calling from and which was Bo Jackson's best sport, baseball or football? Scott, I'll start with you.
Oh man. Hey, it's Scott. I'm here in New Jersey. You know, I only saw Bo Jackson in person play baseball, and he hit a home run at the game I was at. So I'm gonna go baseball.
Okay. Dan, can you come off mute?
I am also coming from New Jersey, and the stuff he did in football was still the coolest to me. So I'm going to go with football for Bo Jackson.
All right. Raphael.
Um, Calling from Lake Oconee, uh, which is outside of Atlanta. I'm gonna go football. Just some of the stuff that he did on the field. I think, yeah, we won't see that anytime soon again.
And Chris.
Chris, I'm calling from Bayside, Queens currently. And to answer your question, if we're going with the binary, it's baseball, but you need to read the Jeff Pearlman biography and read the chapter Hogshead on a Fence Post and see how he played ping pong in the locker room.
Mhm.
Leave it
Personally,
at that.
okay,
I,
everybody's
I
got a
read that book,
research
so yeah.
topic.
Impressive.
Personally, I think it was baseball since he was both the fastest and the strongest player at the same time. He's the easily the strongest home run hitter at the same time. He was the fastest thing on the planet. I'll use that, speaking of baseball, we're 2 games into the Fall Classic, and I'll come back around. So it makes no difference who you thought was going to go and win the series beforehand. Chris, who's going to win the series now as it moves back to LA?
I still think the Dodgers are going to win. The Blue Jays can pound you. That's what they can do. And they showed that in the first game. But good pitching still beats good hitting, maybe. We saw that in game 2 with Yamamoto. And I think the Dodgers have the better pitching top to bottom.
Raphael, are you paying any attention to the World Series? Who do you got
Not
finishing
really,
this?
but
So,
but I do think the Dodgers are gonna win.
all right. So Dodgers. I kind of guess where you're going with that one, Dan. So I'll ask Scott first. Who you got?
think it's gonna be the Dodgers, unfortunately.
That hurts the guy wearing the Diamondbacks hat.
Oh yeah. No, fuck the Dodgers. Say that. Um,
I'm so
but
lost why people are so upset with the Dodgers. I mean, they're spending their billionaire is spending more of his billionaire money to make his team better, and that's a bad thing.
that's not my beef with them so much. They're a division rival, and we've had issues with them for forever. That's the
Oh,
team that's they go. We had our best, series against them a couple of years ago where we swept them out of the playoffs, which was pretty awesome. So we kind of go. That was a Otani-less Dodgers. That's when like they kept touting Kershaw as their guy, and he couldn't get it done. Um,
I'll
but
come back to you about that in a sec. So Dan is the last one. Who you got to finish off between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers?
I mean, I want the Blue Jays to win, but I don't think they're going to. The Dodgers have been that good, and I think Chris is right. Like the good pitching beats the good hitting, and but that game 1 shows that it's not like it's going to be a guaranteed, right? Like it's not going to. I don't think Dodgers going to win the next 3 and be done with it, most likely. So it'll be fun to watch it. But yeah, I mean, the head says Dodgers, even if the heart says Blue Jays for me.
Okay, well, Kenny, since you just hopped in, I'll ask you where you're calling from, and the same question everybody just finished answering, which is who's your pick to win the World Series with the currently at 1 game apiece between the
All
two?
right. All right. Well, calling in from Atlanta. Happy to see everyone. And my pick for the World Series is actually the Blue Jays.
Okay. And
Mainly because I like the fact that as opposed to just swinging hard and hoping that you hit it deep and far, the Blue Jays believe in just putting the ball in play, just making contact and seeing what good things happen. I had a chance to see that against the Yankees. I hated it as a Yankee fan, but I enjoyed watching it. But yeah, absolutely, Blue Jays.
all right.
So
I
Kenny, the real question is, I don't go with Martin's script. We heard you were at the Falcons game. We want to know at what time did you leave the Falcons game? I'm saying 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Oh, I actually stayed because I helped straighten up this clean up a few things in the suite with my coworker. So
Oh,
had
okay.
I not had to stay late work related, then I probably would have bounced about like the third quarter. Because yeah, because you could tell that Kirk Cousins was still check down Charlie. He was still throwing it to the running back out in the flat instead of trying to throw the ball deep. So yeah, you could tell they didn't stand a chance.
He really did check down way too much. I was gonna say you can't see the highways are running clear now, but I was wondering about the third quarter when that flux of people leaving the stadium was gonna start going north, and it didn't happen until at the end of the game. But I was talking baseball before, and it happened back in the NLCS, and it's irrelevant to what happens going forward. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Shohei Ohtani game from 6 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, and he hits 3 home runs. In my opinion, there's little comparison on the baseball diamond just because he was on both sides of it. So if I open it up to all sports, can you think of an example of an athlete that did something similar to that took place in the same day? Because that's the key thing about it. He did it all in the same day. So I'll start with you, Scott. What you got?
So I don't remember. You got Chris will actually remember the game better than me. But
Mhm.
LeBron James put his team on his back and carried him like 3 overtimes one year, where like he scored all the points. Do you remember this game, Chris?
It was against the Pistons. It was like in his third or fourth year. It was like in
I
oh
was gonna
08, oh,
I was
oh
gonna say
07
it's
or
oh
oh
seven,
08,
oh eight, somewhere
where
around
he
that
just,
time.
yeah, he just,
It was like 27 straight points.
yeah, that's as good a game guys had in basketball. Yeah.
But if you're going to say that, then wouldn't Bill Walton in 73 for the NCAA tourney going 21 of 22? Is that
I
not on that same plane? I mean, like that, there's a, go
My
ahead.
answers, so Martin, my answers are only about what I witnessed. So like
Yeah.
when I said to Bo Jackson, like
Okay.
I was in the stadium when he hit a home run. I watched that game. I remember those like he literally ran off the 27 points in a row, like throughout multiple overtimes. He was the guy that scored every point, and like I've never seen a dude do that. That was crazy.
Raphael, what you guys, I guess it's something that you witnessed is a possibility as well, but just who's got a single game performance in the similar stratosphere, so to speak?
Oh, that's a good question. Not necessarily something I witnessed, but you'll love these Giants fans that Emmitt Smith broke shoulder game.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
against the
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giants. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Had like
that was
180
something.
yards and like 3 touchdowns or whatever.
yeah.
I'm shivering just remembering that.
I know. But I mean,
So
yeah, he literally it was just like they just turned around and handed him and was like, just see what you can do.
Yeah.
So Dan, I gotta ask, is Joey Chestnut eating 76 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes on the same sort of plane as Otani?
I mean, no, because I would love Otani to do that again, and I would like to see it. I don't need to see Joey Chestnut eat another hot dog ever. Like that's fine for me. What I thought of when you asked the question before, what I can't
Mhm.
remember was what happened, but like I was thinking about when Deion Sanders like flew from the football game to the baseball game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
That's a good
played
one.
for the
At Florida
Braves
State,
and
yeah.
Mine, Martin, I'm looking it
Mhm.
up here on my phone to remember the exact. I was not at the game because I think it was at Arkansas. It was Darren McFadden against South Carolina, and I was
Hmm.
working there at the time. He went for 321 yards, and it seemed like he did it on about 6 carries. I mean, he had an absolute. It was
Yeah.
like I watched every down of the game, and he was in an SEC football game. He was head and shoulders above everybody else in the game. Probably a game that 15 guys went to the NFL from.
Kind of like the Bo Jackson game almost, it sounds like.
Yeah, I just happened to witness it. I of a a memory that I remember sitting there watching it.
All right. Uh, it's on a similar plane, but completely separate. What's called the greatest hockey game ever was game two of what was apparently at the time the 1987 Canada Cup final. It was a double overtime game, a double overtime win by Canada, which included a hat trick from Mario Lemieux. Grant Fuhr had a scoreless first overtime performance against the Soviet Union back when it was USSR. And Wayne Gretzky had 5 assists while playing with shit in his pants because his bowels sort of gave in at some point and he just continued playing because he's Wayne Gretzky. So, having said all that, is that the most hockey you'll think about for the next 3 to 4 months? Kenny, I'll ask you.
Actually, no. I'm starting to get back into hockey. I was a Ranger fan growing up, and I kind of lost touch with hockey after moving down south, and then when the Thrashers moved to Winnipeg. But I'm starting to get back into it, especially now that hockey is. You can actually see it on TV now. It's on ESPN and a few other channels. You know, prior to that, I think it was on Versus before it became NBC Sports or whatever. But said all that to say that yes, I am starting to get back into hockey.
Rashawn, you following suit? You're gonna get back into hockey?
It won't be any time before the playoffs. I'll let this sort it out and then I'll jump in at the playoffs and be like, oh, well, let's see what the Knights do this year.
Well, I use the 3 to 4 month time frame because the Winter Olympics take place in Northeast Italy, which we're all familiar with, in February, and NBC is gonna shove it down your throat, whether you want it or not. You're gonna keep hearing it's hockey, it's winter, it's Olympics, it's figure skating, it's all the joy that is. So, Dan, I ask, how much country pride will you have for an underdog American hockey team on the ice in February in Italy?
I mean, it's always some when it comes around. Like I'll tell you today, like, do I care a lot today? Like, no, but they'll show the game, and you'll get a little like. Well, I mean, I don't want Finland to win, so there,
What have the Finnish done to you?
Evidently, it's deep seated.
it's very
Yeah,
deep. I can't get into it.
that's fine. So, Chris, are you going to be rooting for a USA?
All the
But
way. And in every sport, I hardly admit, I don't give a poop about most of these sports for every 2, 4, whatever. And the 2 weeks of the Olympics, I am all in. It's all I think about. I'm
really,
totally, yep, I'm a sucker for it. And the day that it ends, I won't give a rip about any of it again.
Accurate.
that's why I don't understand. It's like if I don't care before, why would I care now? And why that it doesn't just because Scott,
No,
are you
Chris always gets a bad case of Olympic fever. That's what they call that.
okay?
I am
I
in.
don't. Yeah, I guess we'll watch the kid will and my wife will want to like watch some that's like sports. You know what I mean? Like just sport, generic sports.
Figure
So
skating, luge,
yeah, whatever. Oh
uh,
no, we're big luge.
Yeah, I like
Big
the luge.
losers.
Yeah.
We're big losers.
big losers. Oh, snooker. Don't they have snooker? Is that still an Olympic sport? It's a Winter
Snooker,
Hope
Olympic
that's
so.
sport?
that's billiards.
Yeah, that is
No, oh,
good.
that's snooker. What's the one? Curling. I'm sorry. I was thinking the one
Yeah,
Curling.
where,
Yeah.
yeah, the weird named
Yeah.
one that I had never heard of until I saw someone doing it at the Olympics. Although
Yeah.
I didn't
curling.
see
They
anybody
slap.
doing snooker.
I actually love the biathlon, the cross country
Skiing and
skiing and
shooting.
shooting.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool. A couple of years ago, Kenny, it's funny you mentioned NBC Sports. A couple of years ago, when NBC Sports was still on, like every Saturday, they showed like the world's like biathlon every like Saturday where it was, and I got totally into Saturday mornings watching it.
That's wow.
Well, the
Yeah, but
Winter
we'll get
Olympics.
new memes out of the Winter Olympics. Like
Yes.
it'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah.
If you say so. That all that will take place soon after the big game. You can't see me doing air quotes because I'm not going to get sued by the NFL over the end of their season. So this is a safe place. I can admit that I'm a reluctant Giants fan in name only, and in front of other Giants fans, I am not one. So let me ask, why should I care about the NFL before Thanksgiving, Kenny?
I think right now is because Pat Mahomes is back. That's probably the biggest thing is that number one, there's still a lot of parity in the league, but because there's no clear cut team that's really just dominating, the Chiefs have found a way to get back into it. And here we are again. So that's the reason to come back is that Pat Mahomes has weapons again. Rasheed Rice is back. Mr. Taylor Swift is starting to play a little more consistent. Um, um, Xavier Worthy is a deep threat. So yeah, Pat
So
Mahomes is back.
that's watching one team. Dan, did you watch your team reach the same win total and finally gain some success? Am I correct on that?
Oh yeah, I watched it. I mean, should you care? I mean, if you like a crappy team, probably not. But if you enjoy football, there are always reason to care is because there's only 17 of the games, right? So it's a scarce. It's what NFL has the best of. It's scarcity. So there's only a few of it. So if you miss it, you're missing a good chunk of the season. You can not watch 3 months of baseball and still be fine, but you can't do that for football as easily. But if you don't have like a deep love for just watching whatever team, then yeah, you can just get with
I'm
it in
gonna
December, see what happens, and go to
I'm
the
gonna
playoffs. Sure.
but I'm gonna jump back to what you just said and ask Raphael, which is you mentioned, watching good football, but if you watch football today, there wasn't any good football. It's really bad football, like the pure actual football of itself. You know what I mean? The actual definition of the sport football. It's not good looking football, like at all. It, can you defend any of that?
Well, I won't get on my soapbox about how they legislated defense out of the game, but
Yeah, I was gonna say that amongst other things, yes.
yeah, yeah. The Jets win today was good football. It was good football in terms of watching. It was good TV, which is what the NFL really is. It is good TV. It is unscripted, but they have storylines that you can follow and characters and da 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 da. So football, Kenny mentioned parity. With parity, the talent is watered down. There are no more dynasty teams. I mean, the Patriots had a run, but yeah, it is the football is okay. It's not great, but it's enough to watch. Keep you
Well,
engaged.
that's just yeah, and I was talking with Scott about this earlier. Well,
Yes. Let him go on his rant.
oh,
Before you guys got on, he had a whole rant.
Nah, it's not. Oh, that's not. I'm not. What? Just about
you know,
the.
I was talking about the fact that I don't, unless you have a monetary or some sort of actual team connection to the sport, then there's not anything to watch. But I leave the floor to you.
No,
No,
that's one of the things is yeah, who are you betting on? Who's on your fantasy team? What are you and why? How are you invested in this league? If you don't have those things, then yeah, it doesn't. I don't know why watch the bad team. Like I went and did something with my kid today, knowing I checked in on the game, but like was pretty sure I knew what was going to happen. And I didn't know we were going to lose the dude that I wanted to watch the rest of the season. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's
no, that's
Talk
you're
about the rules thing.
well, all right. Well, no, it's annoying to watch the sport that like where no one knows the rules. It's annoying to watch a sport on TV where nobody knows the rules, and then they kick it to a guy on the sidelines who knows a little bit more about the rules than the other guys, but he doesn't really know it either. And then they ask some other guy, and then he reverts back to an old 1830s rule that happened, and maybe they could go back to they can. I don't know. Whatever. No, that's not the deal. Anyway,
No, you're right.
The bit
You're
doesn't have a
100%
close. We're
correct.
working on the close still.
Okay. All right.
it's annoying. It's like that's like instead of complaining, I like when I watch basketball, I complain that like the players have changed the game, but like when I watch football, it's annoying that like can we just play the fucking game? Like I'd like to watch a game.
I'm going to use your mentioning of basketball to transition to the big story in all of sports. I was going
Oh.
to say I can't bring people together and not do this. It's Rafael puts on hat, sunglasses, so you can't see anything, which is fine. It's
They're not coming
it's
for me, man.
it's the NBA gambling issue. I will admit here, because I did loudly say I thought Chauncey Billups was initially unjustly being thrown into it with the whole prop bets issue, but Brian Windhurst was on the Rich Eisen show and actually read all the paperwork and indictments and everything like that. And Chauncey is on both of them. He's one of the faces in the whole poker game thing, which I find fascinating. But he also was in, a Oregon coach who was between this age who didn't, so he wasn't named, but he was described on the other side as well. So he's just guilty. So
No allegedly there.
I was gonna say, well, it's within the indictment. It's so it's not it's a described person. It's not specifically him. It's just an NBA coach and former player living in Oregon who may have done this or that. Anybody want to just what your when you first heard or just overall nothing like that? Anyone?
Sure, I'll jump in. The first thing was that it's nice to see the mafia back in the news again. I feel like we're on the way back to becoming a serious country again. I'm of a generation when John Gotti used to be on the back page every other day, the Teflon Don, and it just seemed like they just disappeared. So
I
it's
was
just good to see the mafia back in the
I was going to
news.
say the fact that you had the mafia involved, you had it loudly involved and didn't perp walk, didn't have any face of any mafia, anything like that at all. It was just these three. It was just the names of them. You didn't get anybody, you didn't even get like, Joey Snitch Legs or something like that. But he's the guy who was connected,
They're
who
right. Yeah.
connected Chauncey
Exactly.
Billups to him, something along those lines. You got nothing connection out of that. You just got, the mob was involved.
It was
But
what when I heard that the five families was involved, that just made my day.
it was a beautiful thought. But
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly not the angle I thought someone would take here on this, but well, I don't think just to go to your point, Martin, and to jump by Kenny's point, like I don't think there's like the mob bosses aren't as popular nowadays, so they're gonna perp walk Johnny Snitchlegs, but no one knows who Johnny Snitchlegs
Seems
is.
like that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
just be some guy.
still,
If it was someone who people knew who was still, you know,
but
like
to
a
his
guy like a
point,
Gotti or somebody like that.
but to Kenny's point, if you perp walk Johnny Snitch Legs, he's going to be on the front page of the Post. That's going to be the image that's shown on Fox News or whatever version of tabloid you want to use. But instead, it's
Whoa,
this
whoa, whoa! What do you say
coach.
about Fox News?
I'm saying that they report the news, and
The
if the
facts.
news I'm sorry, they report the facts.
Yeah.
And if the facts
Yes, they do.
if the facts show a perp walk, they're gonna go with the perp walk because
That's
that's
it.
what you bleed what bleeds leads.
Yeah.
That's give me a perp walk. I just wanted to see. You're gonna give me mafia. You're gonna say mafia, and you're gonna show me crime and everything like that. It's not killing anybody. I wanted to see something. That's all.
That's generous of you that you think that Fox would lead with the white criminal. So that's nice of you.
I was being
Just the facts,
objective.
man.
I'm being objective. So,
Just like
I mean,
Fox, you were being
Yeah,
objective.
exactly. Just
Yes.
like
Right. Exactly.
all right. So, objectively speaking, how has the rest of the world dealt with this, or is just because as a nation we are Puritan based and legalized gambling is this new bad thing that we're all dealing with? I mean, like, because am I wrong? Like, you can gamble in England, in Italy, and everything like that. It's not as know anyone. I've not
I've
left this
I've
country.
already I've already made a lot of money. And another thing.
Yes, you were saying.
No, I mean this is just the first in many gambling stories we're going to hear about over the next couple of months and years. I mean, like I was telling you guys, the hardest thing about watching sports with my son is trying to keep him away from gambling. So,
Mm.
like that's just him being a kid only seeing commercials. So he hasn't even gotten into grade school where they're betting on everything, and then the next level. I'm sure college gambling is out of control, and then
Oh,
it just
the
goes up.
whole predictive market where you can be betting on just about anything without even sports related and things like that. So yeah, yeah.
I have a friend of mine is a high school teacher locally, and he said there's a kid in his class that has a bunch of the apps, and I guess whatever parental control he doesn't have on his phone or whatever, he pretends he's over 18. So he takes action from kids in class
So he's serving as a
on
bookie.
FanDuel, like
Yeah.
Hmm.
so.
All right, so that story's kind of come out to, you know what I mean? Like there's just gonna
Yeah,
be the gambling is it's yeah.
But I mean, Martin's trying to allude to us being a Puritan country or whatever, and say like, why can other places have gambling and we can't have nice things? Um, for whatever the reason, gambling was looked down upon or whatever, and so when the integrity of the contest gets called into question, that's a problem, and we've had issues with that. I don't know if other countries have. I've never lived in England, so I don't know if they've had scandals with their sports leagues. But I mean,
I'm sure they have. I'm
no,
sure
what I'm
they
saying, you
have.
go back obviously to, I mean, famous ones, the Black Sox, CCNY in the 50s, Boston College in the 70s. So, Tim
Hmm.
Donaghy, and there's been many, many others. But
And
uh,
those are all when gambling was, illegal.
right.
That's the whole thing. It's
But it
but
doesn't matter whether it's legal or illegal if the integrity of the contest gets called into question because of the mob making a comeback, like Kenneth is happy about.
but
Uh,
I
I
mean,
mean, there
but
was a kid at the University of Toledo in 2008 who was accused of rigging games, and I had a game tape, Martin. I had to submit a DVD to the FBI. It was subpoenaed because they wanted to see if he was shaving points when we played Toledo.
the I
If they were throwing matches in like the English Premier League or like the whatever top cricket league there is, in other countries, like it would be a big deal for them too, even if they're like they wouldn't moralize it maybe in the same way that the U.S. was. But if it's to Chris's point, like if they're messing up the integrity of the game through gambling, like it'd be a big deal. I mean, we like to believe that our sports are like that. It's like the one thing you can look at that says I know that that's a real thing that's happening, and when that gets taken away, it becomes that much more upsetting.
have you felt that way for the last 10 years watching sports that it's not rigged at all or like it
I haven't felt like rigged. I mean, look, are there things that are questionable here and there? Yes, but like full on rigged, like it's not wrestling. You know what I
no,
mean?
it's not wrestling. Their thumb's on the scale at times. The thumb can be on the scale at times.
as if when, I don't know, someone does a tush push and leans forward and another defensive person grabs the ball away from them and the whistle doesn't blow at all until they roll over with the ball and it just for somehow measly becomes the Eagles ball. I mean, like there's
So,
there's
but is that rigged or just incompetence?
Well, that's yeah, Dan. I
that
think
is the
Yeah,
it's
question.
more
that's a
incompetence
good point.
than people think things being rigged, right?
I mean, like, and the thing
Which
is, like, refs have bad, like, you can see, like, when, like, refereeing crews, like, just get caught up in it. Like, it's funny, like, we talked about the Jets game earlier. The nice thing about that Jets game was that, like, there weren't that many penalties. And there are other
mm,
games you watch, it's like, they just start throwing them, and it's one after the other after the other. It's almost like the refs get, like, caught up, like, well, I called that one, now I got to call 15 more of them.
Right.
And then if you have a rooting interest at all, for whatever reason, if they're throwing it against you, it looks rigged. Like it's like why would like they're clearly cheating or they're doing it. They hate my team so much.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
funny,
which
Dan. You
is
say that. I was at an eighth grade football game last night, and this one ref threw about seven straight flags. before any of the other refs were flagged. And like all of them were probably pretty legit penalties, but it just seemed like you said he got caught up in this and this and like he when like the other team was he's the only guy throwing the flag, you know.
But it's I'm laughing because it's eighth grade football. Any type of juvenile football, you could throw a penalty flag at any given point on any given
Really?
play. It doesn't make a difference. And you can throw a flag
Right.
if you
I
want
think
to
that's
throw a
true of every
flag.
level of football. There's holding or something. You know, you could call it travel on every play if you wanted to in basketball. Like, you know, if you wanted to call like a ridiculous game, you could. And then every once in a while, the ref's like, well, you know, I'm doing it tonight, or like I got caught up in it, and someone yelled at me. Now I'm gonna,
It
my
is
pride's involved or something. You know, that's so I don't think there's as many things where like it's straight up like someone paid the ref, or like the league called up and said, you know what, I'd love Kansas City to win this game, so let's make sure it happens. Like, are there thumbs in the scales in certain things? Yes, like to a point, but not. I don't know. The whole like nefarious like the NBA
cold
doesn't want
envelope.
anyone but the Lakers and the, what have you to ever be in the finals. Like, I don't
Cold
know. I
cold
mean,
envelope thing that David Stern touches, or the fact that Luca goes to Dallas and Dallas suddenly gets the number one pick. I mean, it's cute. It's fun to play around with it, but I agree with you. It's just it is a it's a lot of malarkey is the best way to say it. So the use of malarkey is almost as good of a way to end with a trivia question. Remember, we will play Price is Right rules, and I started with baseball and moved over to gambling. So why not combine the two, which is Shohei Ohtani to a T. It was the quietest controversy stemming from his former interpreter. I'm gonna try to mispronounce his name, Ippy Mizuhara, allegedly stealing money to pay off illegal gambling debts. The number I'm looking for is when Mizuhara pleaded guilty. How much did he admit to stealing? Price is the right rule. So whoever puts the number, you can't use the same one. Dan, I'll start with you.
wasn't it something like $30 million?
30 million. Scott,
I'm gonna go above that. I think it might be higher. 50 million.
50 million. Kenny,
Ooh, I'm gonna go significantly lower. I thought it was a number maybe around 1.5 million.
1.5 million. Chris.
Yeah, I think the reported numbers were up where Scott and Dan had, but I think what he admitted to was kind of where I'm going to go with Kenny. I'm going to say 2 million.
Okay, we have the various numbers. Thanks for listening to Gate to Gate. All my guests have flights home to catch, and I'll be back soon enough with hopefully something better to put down. The answer will be in the description for this episode. So until then, take it easy down your life's highway and have a good evening.